I'm making this video because today I was inspired both professionally and mentally and creatively. You see, usually I would refrain from using "and" more than once in a list of items I'm listing. But I realized that's just the box that someone before me created, and I choose to continue to live in, even though I have the choice to leave. Some people think the box is the only way. I think the box is but one of many ways. A few other ways I could list, but I don't want to go on. So I'll get straight to the point. When you're a professional like me, it can be challenging to maintain an air of professionalism in a world seemingly devoid of it. Some people state they're professionals with absolutely no evidence, no action showing that they are professional. They just basically say like, "Oh, I'm a professional, believe me." And it's like, well, why? You have to ask why. Why do you trust the person talking to you? Do you just believe everything anyone says? When you were in third grade and a kid said that his father birthed dinosaurs for a living and they turned into Nintendo game switches, and he had 7 of them, and he could turn them into this huge Transformer Optimus Prime of a video game console, did you believe him? Of course, because you knew he was telling the truth. No one could make up something like that. That is too insane. And you go home and tell your parents are like, "That little Jimmy, he's a fibber." But me, I knew. I was just a kid. They were like, there, little guy. You fell for a fib. And I was like, no. Mom, Dad, you don't get it. No one got it. I knew that Jimmy was telling the truth, you see, because he had the evidence to back it up. That's what people didn't understand. He had the evidence. That evidence was his words, because his word was his bond. And that bond was unbreakable to someone like me. A couple years go by, and Jimmy's in prison. So I call Jimmy up. A lot of people don't know this. You get one call from inside of prison to the outside world, and you get one call from anyone on the outside to the inside of the world in prison. So you actually get two phone calls. Very misunderstood part of prison. And I called up Jimmy and I was like, I'm really sorry about what happened. I heard the news. You really didn't deserve those charges. Like, I believed you, dude, because his word was his bond. And I believed that Jimmy wasn't a car thief. He wouldn't steal a fly. He has this honorable spirit about him. And I just think someone who grew up with a game console as powerful as he did, one that combined from several systems, no one who has a game console that cool grows up to have something negative inside them, because that's just a positive force in his life. So I made it my vow to help prove Jimmy's innocency. So I asked him, "I'm going to help you get out, Jimmy. I know you have your court date soon for the final hearing of, is he going to get off free, or is he going to do 25 to life for his severe crimes?" There were some other besides the car theft, but it's really beyond the story. And I asked Jimmy, where is the Game Switch 3500 Transformabot edition? Because it wasn't for me. Lots of people thought it was for me. I could care less. I'm a professional at this point in my life. I don't really dabble in electronics or game consoles, kid things like that. Use just good old pen and paper. Good enough for me. And I told Jimmy, the reason I need this is you having had this incredible machine that I don't really have much interest in, but I, as an objective observer, I can see the incredulousness of this machine. If I can show this machine to the judge, to the jury, there's no way they're going to see a guy like Jimmy and the evidence that he had a game system like that. No one in their right minds is going to believe that guy would lead a life of crime. I don't care if you got photo evidence, audio evidence, eyewitness evidence. All those things can be doctored. We live in a world of deep fakes, deep hate, and lots of false wisdom being spread. People will do anything to get a buck. So you just can't believe when you see videos floating around from friends and family about this guy committing all these crimes. And it could have been Jeff Bezos doing those crimes. He just pays a guy a couple hundos. It's like chump change to him to alter the footage. Make it look like Jimmy's doing the car stealing instead of Jeff. Why does no one suspect the billionaire, huh? I mean, he steals from us in other ways. Undercuts our wages. But I wouldn't like to disparage another professional. I think the crimes that Mr. Bezos does in his free time is that's up to him in his personal life. And I left Jimmy with that thought. And Jimmy responded to me as like, you know, man, and I really knew he was deep in the brainwashing of our broken prison state system, because he responded and he said, man, are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. You ought to have known I was lying all those years ago. I didn't have a game system that did that. My dad didn't even have a job, he said. I was like, dang. They really won't let you speak the truth in there, huh, Jimmy? But I knew. I saw through it. I heard the rate he was blinking. He was blinking me Morse code. And in the Morse code it said, find the system. Bottom left drawer. My mother's house. So, I knew what I had to do. I went to Jimmy's mom's house. I started a fire in her backyard that quickly spread due to the dried grass to the house. The flames go up. Everyone leaves the house. Mom, dad, and the dog. Leaves me free to explore. I get in the house. I have a fire extinguisher, of course. I'm not stupid. But something just unforeseen happened. I passed out. I don't know what happened in the house. I'm usually pretty strong-willed, but I think it was just the nerves of the stakes I was working with. I passed out, woke up in the hospital, and they told me. They said, "Sir, I'm sorry to tell you this. Hate to be the bearer of bad news," said the doctor. We checked your vitals after that accident, and you're not a professional. And that's when I knew he was still thinking inside that damn box. Because someone might see a passed out guy in a burned down building and think, unprofessional, doesn't know what he's doing. What right does he have to be here doing what he's doing? That's so in the box. That's so in the box. And I am not in their box. I fled the hospital, and I'm here now. I'm standing. I'm up to 20 minutes I can stand at a time before my head hurts. Doctor said I wouldn't last a year. That's why I leave it up to you, the viewer. Do you think professionalism's all it's cracked up to be? Well, it is. And I am it. But I'm not professional like they think in the box. I'm professional outside of their box and inside my own square. I'm in the square of professionalism at its finest. And you could join me in your little triangle of professionalism in the bottom right. My right, your left. Doesn't matter to me. I think outside all boxes, all shapes, all directions. East, west, north, you can join me. Just either do it or get out of the kitchen.